Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
Said that Homeland Security brought him in, and he was in the studio the night one of the girls made a complaint, the night something happened to one of the girls.
When Diddy's son Christian Combs stepped into that courtroom to air out his own father's dirty laundry, you already know this family drama just hit a whole new level. This ain't no regular beef. This is some Shakespearean betrayal type mess.
What you think about the diss record that King Combs came out with, where he was coming at 50 and coming at everybody, coming at his dad? Like, how you feel about that record?
Well, first I want to say to this young man, before somebody take his head off, because see, that's that new school bull crap that these kids out here, they easy to fly off their mouth with that. You don't invite a man to your private. You don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If 2 men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private, because that man will see you and take your head off. Especially somebody like 50. You don't send or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do. But 50 is the wrong dude that you want to do that type of attention, get that kind of attention from, bro. In the infamous words of Waka Flocka, that nigga go hard in the paint. And I don't believe that this cat would even put out some trash like that and really didn't know what he was doing. He's teasing the federal government. And I told y'all, the Southern District of New York do not play. So King Kong just put another battery in their back. And you see after he did that shit, something get leaked to the press. Do you notice that, right? As soon as he did that dumb shit, talking about, well, we did this and we did that. We had this over here, y'all went to the wrong house. Some went to, he said, well, we're gonna show you how wrong we are. Yo, CNN, run this. Action, roll them. Don't play with the feds, bro. Because you got to realize this. They got a lot of time. All they got is time. Yo, they going to sit there, people sitting up there and they want something. See, people like a fix. They need that fix real quick. They want them to hurry up and charge Diddy with something or see what they got on him. The feds going to take their time. May take 6 months, may take a year, may take 2 years. They got up to 3 years to bring their case up. They got 3 years. So they checking everything about them. They gonna dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel like he played a part in that video coming up. You know, him making a comment saying that, you know, they forgot to raid the house next door that his dad owned. Yeah, man, he was wilding out, man.
Yeah, I think he was just bullshitting. I don't believe he bought the house next door. Because let me just tell you something. if anything or any name that had to do with Bad Boy,
Diddy's sons gotta go to witness protection after this. This finna be tragic for them.
the federal government gonna run that. They know all the properties Diddy have. They wasn't even talking about the raid that they did in New York, but they did a raid in New York too.
Yeah, I ain't hear about that raid. I only heard about the, the LA and Miami raid. But you feel like the feds, they released that video over King Combs' comments.
Oh man, I've worked in law enforcement for 27 years, and I had the opportunity to see HIDA. It's a place, whereas they have the state, the feds, the NYPD, the Department of Corrections, and the state police. Yo, this place could be half of a basketball court. That's where they just got lines of computers with officers of all different people and officers just on the internet. Whoever's over that case, whoever's working that case, don't you know they saw that and took it to their boss? You might think it's petty, but it's not. You do not agitate a lion with a pork chop. And that's what that kid did, bro.
Some people feel like, Diddy, he played a part in that video coming out too. Him being spotted with Stevie J, smiling at the camera. A lot of people blame him too.
But bro, what did I tell you? He's such a narcissist that he has to be in the public. Yo, listen to me. They just caught him on TMZ today or yesterday or something like that, walking out and about. Now, I'm not telling the man what to do, what he couldn't do. I don't know if the government told he couldn't travel nowhere, he couldn't be nowhere and stuff like that. But why are you gonna go outside your own compound where TMZ and every other place is waiting on you? You're not gonna get any public sympathy. That's why he had that picture of him and his father around his neck. You're not gonna get no sympathy. You're done. Stick a fork in it. Call it a quit. Apologize to Big's mother for putting her son in that position that he loses his life. It's crazy. He better do a Russell Simmons.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that, man. They saying that he gonna pull a Russell Simmons.
Well, anything's possible, bro, but I don't know if the feds will allow him since they got an open investigation on him.
Gene Deal, happy to have you back on the platform, my man.
How did I know you was gonna call me, Mighty? It didn't take a rocket scientist. I was figuring when I seen that this morning, that and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about yet, but when I seen that Diddy stuff from CNN, I said, I know Art gonna call me. Art of Dialogue gonna give me a call.
Oh, you already know I was about to hit you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, man, let's get right into it, man. What you think about the video that came out today of Diddy pitting his hands on Cassidy?
Man, that was crazy. And I know people gonna think that, yo, this is all what Gene wanted to see. But now, listen here, man. The devil got a purpose, God got a plan. Do you understand what I'm saying? The devil got his purpose, but God got a plan. You understand? And it's all in God's plan, man. You understand? To let people see, because a lot of people wasn't believing that this stuff even existed, brother. A lot of people didn't even think that Cassie was telling lies, Gene been telling lies, Lil Rob been telling lies, everybody lying on Diddy. But Diddy told the truth. Diddy's the only one told the truth. He said, y'all just keep watching. The truth will soon come out. And you see what came out? My man, he punching that little girl in the head. Yo, you don't even kick a dog, man. You don't even kick a dog, bro. He kicking that little girl like she's a dog, man. It was crazy, man. Any man that has a sister, any man that has a friend that's a girl, any man that has a child, you understand, who saw that, if they wasn't appalled, if they wasn't like, yo, I want to.
Probably should have done that when he was his bodyguard. Diddy seems like the kind of man who've never had his ass whopped.
I want to beat the, you know what I'm saying? We can't say that on television, man, or on the internet or YouTube, but any man who saw that, wish they could put their hands on Diddy at that time, bro. That shit was appalling, bro. It was crazy, man. And when I saw it, you know, I could imagine what Kim went through. I could imagine what Misa went through. You understand? It was just crazy, man, for that dude to do that to that girl like that, man.
I can't believe what I seen, man. I still can't believe what I seen in that video, man. Like the way he was kicking her was like he was kicking a field goal, man.
Bruh, when I saw him run down first of all, when I saw the white towel, I got flashbacks of him and Ja Rule running out the room. Of course, they had, what's her name, Sarah and the other girl in there, but I had that flashback. And then when I seen him run down the hallway, I had flashbacks when the same gang was chasing him. Yo, I was like, what the hell? And then when he put his hands on it, no jokes aside, because I know it's not no laughing matter, man. The shit just was appalling, brother. And I don't even know how they could even play that on television, on YouTube like that, and without even putting up some sensitive, you know how they put the sensitive subject matter up? That was crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it, man. I mean, because like I said, I mean, me and you've been doing interviews for years and you've been telling me stories about Diddy, but to actually see the visual.
You know, so like, bruh, I wouldn't have never allowed him to do no shit like that around me. That's why he probably never did nothing like that. You understand? When I got the aftermath, when they told me to go over to St. Luke's Hospital, because Puff was over there in the hospital, that was the aftermath. You understand? When Kim cut his wrist up with that corkscrew, his right wrist. They got pictures on the internet with his wrist banded up. Kim did that. You understand? The aftermath of them being in the Swiss hotel and he roughing her up and like he playing fight with her, and then she runs out the presidential suite and we got the big room in there at the Swiss hotel, and then I'll be like, yo, you all right? And she like, yeah, I'm all right. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? You good? She like, yeah, good. And then she go back in the room with Puff, Diddy, Brother Love, whatever he call his name is. So, you know, it's always the aftermath or something like that, bro. But in front of you, only people who commit crimes around people who commit crimes. You know, Puff know who to do that stuff around. And that was crazy, man. When I looked at that thing, to be honest, I thought that the people who was watching it, because you know at those hotels, they have security personnel that watch that stuff. And if they didn't call the police, they should be in jail. I don't care what nobody say. You know, whoever watched that tape and didn't submit that to the authorities, they should be brought up on charges.
Why do you think the video is barely coming out right now? Because you got a lot of people, you know, that's wondering why it took so long.
First of all, they know that Puff probably paid the security personnel like, because he knew it was on camera. When he made it to the hallway, when she made it to that phone, once that phone picked up, that's going straight to security. That's for emergency purposes only. So either the concierge or somebody that's handle emergency type situation when she picked up that phone. So now, Puff probably had somebody pay them off. 9 times out of 10, he had somebody pay them off, bruh. And then now Homeland Security is involved. I told you, everybody talking about, yo, they ain't got nothing on him. His dumbass son come out, make this whole tape, you understand?
Diddy probably will never see daylight again.
About what they ain't got or what they, man, listen to me. Homeland Security looked at Cassie information. They interviewed her. Yo, when was the time he hit you? He hit you before? Yeah, we was at the hotel. He blacked my eye. They went through a whole lawsuit. Oh, he blacked my eye. We at the hotel. It was on this day, about this time. They said, okay, we gonna contact and see if the footage. Now they gotta keep that stuff in the archive. They have to have that security footage in the archive somewhere. So then what the Homeland Security say, yo, listen to me, on this day, this way, because just for accidents, like just say like you fell down the steps at the hotel. They got cameras in the hallway. They got cameras in the stairway. So they can see that. So now, you didn't fall down the steps, but you say you did at a certain time. They go through that whole footage. So they have to keep that in some kind of archive. Now, she told them what date and by what time it happened. They contact the security personnel and the people who have that stuff in archive and say, yo, listen to me. We're going to subpoena that. We want that information. And they sent it to them because they don't want to lose their insurance. They don't want to lose their insurance. The things that they insure the hotel, you know, so they don't want to lose that stuff. So listen, what they do, they hand it over to them. There's going to be a lot of stuff handed over. Why do you think they got all the tax returns and everything on all 18 other companies that he was doing business with? I told y'all, the Southern District of New York, they not into losing nothing. A 98.2 percentage in conviction rates. They not losing nothing. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry about that.
What was your reaction when you first seen that video, man?
I was sick as a stomach, man. I was sick in the stomach, man, because you know, when you have daughters, you just hope somebody don't send you to jail like that. Cause any real man know if somebody put their hands on their kids like that, you know, kicking them like a dog. My first reaction was, man, there's probably a lot of other women that had that same problem with old boy. Remember Gina that got on that show, Tasha K show? And she said that, yo, he kicked me. He was punching me in my head and the side of my head. Do you imagine what she went through and she was pregnant, bruh? Come on, man. I had flashbacks of when they told me when he beat Misa so bad that he was kicking her, she had to go hide up under a car. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
right, so
I wasn't prepared for that part.
let's do it like this. We're gonna get everything on record, man. Real Life Street Stars. We have. I can't even put the adjective in front of your name as far as whistleblower, truth teller. I'll let you give your own adjectives, but we have Jaguar Wright, who technically, as of this moment, people are calling Wright, making her first exclusive response to the hammer, or it coming down on Diddy, Sean Combs, the Diddy, Puff Daddy, all the monikers he has, it's come down on him. Jaguar, it's been 304 days since Cassie's lawsuit hit the internet. 304 days that we brought you in and you start speaking on what's to come, what's to come, what's to come, and you said it. They could go back and watch it and see that you mentioned, oh, it's coming down. Give it 2 months. Give it 3. Actually, give it about 9 months. Look, we're looking around September, is what you said. Everyone would ask, how do you know? How did she know? How did she know? And now we have you here with what you said come to pass.
Again,
What are your thoughts, please?
I want my perp walk. I'm feeling like Lil Wayne right now. I feel like I'm getting cheated.
Mm.
I want the perp walk. I want the twisty ties. I want him on the ground. I want people putting his head into the car. I want that. That's what they did to the kids.
Yeah, there's never been an image of Diddy in handcuffs.
No,
Even
we
now-
need that. We need that. I need that perp walk. So as I keep reaching out to victims, I can let them know it's safe to come outside.
So let me ask you, Jag. Diddy was, and we're gonna go through this whole thing real quick, but
Jaguar warned y'all. That's what they saying on the
yeah, yeah,
associate. They got like 13,000 people or so over there now.
yeah.
And they
Diddy,
was watching me on TikTok. They was telling me in the chat, "Don't cry, Jag."
wow.
How is the Associated Press commentating on what I'm doing in my TikTok?
No, listen. I was on the academics page, and everyone's typing in Jaguar Wright was right. He's trying to say, hey, listen, I hear y'all, but they're letting him know. Go back and listen to Jaguar Wright. Now you have to go.
She finna throw a party for Diddy's arrest. She been plotting his downfall for ages.
Go watch everything she said.
Yeah, on the blue couch.
Can you give me your thoughts when Diddy comes to New York? He's seen walking the streets of New York with his son right before the feds. They were supposed to arrest him today, but they chose to do it last night.
Well, yeah, because they probably felt like he was getting itchy. And he might have been trying something. I mean, he did what all of the good fellas do when they know that they get ready to go to jail. They come home, they have dinner with everybody, they go to their favorite places,
Man,
that last good time.
there's a song that goes around, Jack. I believe it's called 1,000 bottles of baby oil on the wall. Take one down and passing it around. What when you hear this indictment being unsealed and to hear the depravity of the
Should I, you know what? I'm going to say it again. Because there might be some people who have never been through here to the blue couch. These niggas is wild. They procure bitches to do damage and wild shit. Like, it was something like that I said. Why don't nobody ever want to believe me?
without
Jamil
question.
Jamal said it himself. Jaguar sat on the couch and said he put the boots to that girl, and y'all said she was a liar, and then we seen it, and then y'all just said, I want my perp walk. That's all I want. The only thing that's gonna make any of this hoopla worth it is if he does a perp walk, if he gets put into a car, if he is treated like the criminal that he is on camera. See, they got all of these images leading up to the secret arrest of him having a good time and doing all of that. But when is he gonna start having a bad time?
So for the victims,
I've never had a good time when I go to lock up. It's always annoying. You know, every time I've been arrested for something that I didn't do, and yet nobody said, but did he get arrested finally and get the book ready to be thrown at his very, very, very dancing feet? They're going to beat his feet with that law book. How many crimes he's done. And everyone's so surprised. You know how weird that is for me?
That is. That is.
Y'all watch me get arrested there just for bringing Gene Deal to Dallas.
Man, I think they wanted to really silence some things that you had to say, and you know, we can talk about that all day later. What I love to do, Jag, is let's start with the right now of what we know, and let's work backwards.
I want my perp walk.
He offered $50 million. $50 million to be freed. The judge right now, because again, this is breaking news. The judge right now is she went back to her chambers to consider, but the government says that is not enough money.
Bond. No bond. Just like they did to me when they first started using my ex-husband to use our custody with our son Sam the second. I got no bond. I got no bond for nonviolent crimes. He doesn't really deserve any bond at all. But if he's going to have bond, I mean, let's start with no passport. Let's start with no private planes. Let's start with a black and white, or whatever the equivalent of a black and white is, following him everywhere he goes, watching everything like he's been doing to people for so many years.
Right.
It's time for the diddler to become uncomfortable.
It's
too comfortable.
Damian Williams, the U.S. attorney, stated that he does not want to use the word cooperative.
Released on bond for $75 billion.
Oh, so 75 million?
175?
Or is it 175? Which is it, 75 or 175 they're releasing him for?
I've looked it up. They just said he's released on bond.
So yeah, he got bond.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of charges they stick to him.
Ooh.
I want an ankle monitor. I want his passport surrendered. And I want a perp walk. He's out on 75 million. Breaking news.
Diddy's back in the world. Or at least back in his mansion.
No. Diddy's back on the streets. I think I like that. Where's the ankle monitor? I want my perp walk. If Irv Gotti can run around demanding sloppy toppy, I think at this point I deserve what I ask. I want my perp walk. Justice for Pac, you better believe it.
Oh yeah. Let me ask you, Jag, and we're gonna break this whole thing down. We're gonna just keep kind of going through this thing. But let me ask you, in your mind, does this, now when you look back on the apology, when he was like, man, I was effed up, what does that do for, like, what are your thoughts on that apology now?
That apology lets all of his victims who haven't come forward yet know nothing's gonna happen to me. Nothing's gonna happen. I'm gonna say these words, I'm gonna kick some money around, and you gonna stay hurt, and I'm gonna stay rich. That's what that means. Where that bottle at? Put a little, pour some sugar on me.
Can I get your take, Jag, on 1,000 bottles of baby oil seized? 1,000 bottles? Like, in your mind, from what you've seen in your life.
All I'll say is before you start singing that song and playing your games, make sure you comb through it for all the pubic hair left behind. I meant what I said. I would have went in there with a hazmat suit. Those are some brave officers. Now, they could have got encephalitis just from sitting on the couch.
Now,
that's why I don't know why they acting like they was in there looking for anything other than physical tape, because there was so many DNA samples in that house. They could have probably created a whole new race.
Let me ask you, when it comes to the hotels, he said that, or in the indictment, they said that there was people that were hired to clean up after the freak off. So this is not even the people that's hired by the hotel. These are special people.
No, they had to bring in outside clean. No, this is industrial level foolishness. We talking about?
It's Breaking Bad level.
Imagine what happened. Now you heard the video, you heard the footage with him and the meat. Now we also know that TD Jakes is allegedly also a power bottom. And he's a much older man. And they say he's very enthusiastic in his endeavors. What happens when he pops something loose? You know what I'm
saying? It's funny because they're mentioning sex workers, but they're not mentioning women. They're mentioning men as sex workers.
Yeah.
Like is that a thing where like there's a website of what? It's just wild to hear like you mentioned the
You've
normal.
Never heard of Grindr?
I personally have not. That is one.
Why don't nobody ever talk about the fact that TD Cakes has an account allegedly on Grindr?
Oh wow.
Grindr is a sex app. It's been around for about 15 years now. It's pretty much where you could put a GPS in an asshole. So you go onto the app and it uses the location. And it routes you to the account of the man closest to you. And then y'all DM.
I just hope the trial is public. I want to see him try to defend himself.
And you decide if you're going to do it at the 7-Eleven or do it at the gay club in the bathroom. It's a hookup site for promiscuous gay men.
Wow.
The Grindr.
Jeez.
Why would a bishop have a ghost account?
Yeah, let me ask you. Also in the 14-page indictment.
Grinding.
Oh, not clips. Not clips.
Grinding. Oh, baby.
Not malice. Not malice. Oh.
She loved the way I Diddy bop. That's what Cameron said.
Yeah, we're about to go through all the lyrics again. There was an interview I was watching with, or a video I was watching with Jay-Z and Diddy from back in, I guess early 2000s. We're gonna go back and watch through all of this because
I think you need to, because everything was done in your face.
Yeah.
They played in all of our faces. All of this stuff was done right in everyone's face. So I want you to imagine how insane it is for the victims who know this is going on, know that the authorities are being paid off, know that no one's going to believe them, and you still got to find a way to survive.
Jack, I want you to speak to Diddy right now.
But I got to say to a sodomite like him. Only thing I would say to him is go to jail, go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. But they done gave him money.
75 million.
He done rolled the dice and got all the free parking money.
Even though you're not getting your perp walk, would you like cameras I know they don't put cameras in federal court. Would you like to watch this thing unfold?
Oh, I think they're gonna make an exception.
Ooh.
Diddy just became the new OJ. America can't afford to turn this bag down.
Oh.
I feel it. I feel a Nancy Grace greatest hits coming up. Sean P. Combs is a bad guy. She called him Sean P. Combs. She actually thought that P. Diddy was his legal name.
He
Sean
changed.
P. Combs. He's a bad guy.
He recently changed.
You ain't kidding, Nancy. You ain't kidding.
He recently changed his name to Brother Love to Love. Do you think there was a reason behind him changing his name?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the only lie that would work left. He done lied about everything else. I guess you know.
Like maybe all these things happened when he was in his Diddy phase and before. Now the love phase, he's on to something
Now
else.
you're saying that this man is suffering from multiple personality disorder. If that's the case, then we got 4 different predators and they all need to get booked.
Yeah, I think he might look for the
From Puff Daddy to Puffy to Diddy, now to Love. Oh, let's not forget P Diddy. Yeah, we got 5 different predators. If we're judging him by the different phases of his depravity, then he needs to be rearrested for the other 4 personalities.
Oh, now they stated that these freak offs lasted for days. Can your mind imagine going into hour number 72 and you're still getting like, I'm still in the bed with a sex worker?
Having a sex worker in itself is called prostitution, right? When has it became legal?
I'm still being watched in the corner.
If you remembered. Guys, Storm Monroe was live today with a young woman I think y'all need to reach out to. She's a subscriber, but she's also a content creator here on YouTube. She has over 50K subscribers. Her name is Love Jones. Today, Love Jones sat with Storm Monroe, and she talked about being with the Combs brothers last summer in a Sprinter, and she don't remember where they took her. The boys.
Right. And
apparently, and King gave one of those have the DeLeon or something.
Right.
And she said it was more than DeLeon. Her body tingled all over, and she's. I just put prayer hands in the chat. I think y'all need to reach out to Love Jones.
Yeah, and also the lady who was on that yacht that she said the son, it was Diddy's yacht, but she was only hired as a bartender, and there was something spiked in her accused too.
You'd be surprised how many of those party workers get assaulted and don't tell them, oh, we've been drinking on the them. Here, you know what? For your pain and suffering, and they cut them a check for 10, 20K, and then they sign the NDA, and then that's all that.
Will you go back and
here comes Diddy? Is Diddy coming out?
Uh-oh.
Hold on. I want my purple. Baby, where's the camera? Let's document this for posterity. I want to see him look as humiliated as he should look after what he put those boys through.
I don't think he's coming out.
Well, they're not going to make him perfect. I guess for $75 million, you could buy a safe exit.
Yeah, they might grant you that. He's basically paying for the case for him.
I want the world to know. Nuh-uh, not the Diddy lubricant. I can't.
Oh, no.
Take that. Take that. I wonder if that's what his cellmate's going to say.
Let me ask you, should we go back and...
sure he ain't had to go to lockup. Because if he had to go to lockup, it would have... His whole ass. All Diddy and... with all due Diddy... Yeah, Diddy reign. Diddy reign.
With all Diddy respect. Should we go back, Jack, and watch Carisha's interview with Diddy? Because a lot was said in that interview about peeing on her and doing it for hours, and he can't stop, and he won't stop, and take that. A lot was said. Should we go back and rewatch the interview with what's going on now?
I mean, I think you can, but I think she should watch it. I think she should watch that every day until she falls on her knees and prays for prayer. Lord, please teach me how to pray so I can save my soul. He ain't beat you. He just peed on you all the time. He treats you like a toilet. But he respected you enough not to hit you, please. Yeah, we can watch it.
They also stated that after these freak-offs, and again, this is all in the indictment, so y'all can go read it or go find it and read it. That IV fluids were needed after these freak-offs, like to get a needle in.
How many times have y'all heard me say, what kind of bitch needs an IV in a bedroom?
What kind of proof they got on Diddy would be very interesting to see.
How many times have y'all heard me say that?
Come on.
Concierge medicine is what's preferred. You call up a doctor that doesn't want to play by the... They get to charge 3 times as much and it's faster. Don't fix so fast. You call a concierge doctor. All the books. But usually they leave behind complimentary saline, hydrate, fluorescent. Needs to go like this to rehydrate their body the day that they done the night before.
Yeah, one thing that is interesting is that one thing that's interesting is that they stated no condoms were found. Like they didn't rack up any condoms or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's horrible.
If you're dancing with the devil willingly, the last thing you should be... What good are you unless they to mark their territory and sing the words? Ask Curtis.
No, without
He bopped. He bopped until he dropped.
God damn.
Hi, Daphne.
What?
I can't wait for her subpoena to come in, boy. She gonna have some shit to say.
And again, I know we're just rehashing all these things, but when you see that there was recordings that they have all these recordings, and most of them probably unknown to the victims. What are your thoughts when
all of them unknown to the victims? Even though it should have been known.
Yeah, without question.
This is the real world. This is the real world. You mean? As a whole devil seance. Katy Perry running around looking like a hermaphrodite. Flying around with devil wings.
Jack, you've said a lot in our interviews. Do you feel like the federal government may go back and watch some of the things you said, even in our interviews, just to try to
They're already watching.
Comb, no pun intended.
They're already watching.
Sure.
They've been watching. I would know. I've been told. I ain't gonna be no witness unless I choose to be. That's really what I hate me. I know the law too good. I know what they're afraid to tell the truth about, and they know I'm not afraid to tell it.
Hold on, Jack. We're
See,
gonna take a moment.
Problem. That's the problem. They're never going to admit that the reason why Sean Carter has been able to do all that he's done is because they gave him permission to do it. And everybody knew it.
Pause right there. Pause right there, Jay. We're gonna take what they call a recess in court, and we're gonna come right back. We're gonna stop right there, take a recess, come right back.
We'd love to hear what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like and subscribe.